Excuse me. Hopefully the snowstorm is not too bad for you. Careful with that monster, man. It's a lot of caffeine. Coffee is usually the way. For every cup of coffee, have a cup of water. Speaking as a former coffee roaster. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Appreciate that. I don't typically draw with ballpoints on these live streams, but I've been kind of messing with them a lot at work, so figured I'd do a little bit on these. Appreciate that. Hey Tom, how's it going? Right on. Appreciate you watching. Sorry about the poker. Haven't gambled in a long time, but once upon a time I had a band that played in Vegas a lot, so I found myself at the blackjack tables from time to time. I appreciate that. I'm still on the fence whether or not that De Niro drawing is done. Kind of feel like I want to do another hour or so. I just got a little bit tired of drawing on it for a bit. But it's probably another like 30 minutes and the final details will be in it. Appreciate that though. Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, I'll check that here in a little bit. I'm probably not going to stream for too much longer tonight. Had intended to stream a little extra today, but let's see. Oh, right on. Procrastination's part of it. It's, forget the sculptor, but a lot of people stare at what they think is going to be their next work for a long time before they make the first move. So, but eventually you just gotta dig in. But yeah, this one, I kind of am just winging it here. Sort of doing like a ballpoint drawing of what I would think a Bob Ross painting would be like. Just layer by layer. Also sort of weighing out how much I really want to get another Tino. Sorely tempted to get an aluminum one just to have the difference in weight for some lighter line work. But I don't know, I'm still partial to the brass one. It's feels kind of like a step back. But I have been playing with them a lot in the store, the new anodized ones. They're just like slightly heavier than the raw aluminum. But I thought it also might be cool to get one and put red ink in it. And rather than having two brass ones, have one slightly lighter for lighter work and red tones. Yeah, I'll have to check out what you sent me here in a little bit. Cool. I'm gonna call it there for the night. If you're curious, I'm drawing with a kolo tino ballpoint. It's the raw brass. It's really heavy, so it's nice for stuff like this. This is kind of an unplanned one. I just was doodling today, and thought I'd just do this instead of some pencil drawings. But to show you, this is kind of the last few days. I've been doing these while I've had downtime in my day job. Just a few different Walt Whitmans at different ages. Slightly different styles. These top two are more scribble method. This bottom one is a little bit of cross hatching. Do people know my Instagram handle? It should be the same as my YouTube one, but yeah, it's basically just Trevor Wiggins with CHR. This one's pretty terrible. This one's a little too skinny. That one's not too bad. But the last few days of drawing, it's kind of the stuff I've been doing. Some of the Western ones back here, and then this is sort of like a better version of that one. Just a little self-portrait exercise. Yeah, I've got links in the descriptions of the videos. So like my Instagram is on my channel, like about me page, and then it's also in the description of this video. Or it should be anyway. But yeah, I'll probably put something on there with the lives. I try not to do too much in terms of like any pre-production or post-production. And then since I'm using this book, I'll show everyone some of the past ones. I haven't been drawing in A5 for a while, but I take this one to work all the time, so I doodle a lot in it. But just some of the pencil drawings from the past few months. It's also Walt Whitman. I draw Walt Whitman a lot. I'm not a big poetry guy, but I do like him. This one was recommended by Nolan, who I don't know if he's still on here, but it's a little self-portrait. Kind of gave up on that one. Really should come back and do a once-over on these. This one lacks a lot of detail. I've found that the ones I do at work a lot of don't really finish. This one's finished. It's the Thelonious Monk. That one I feel like I've been wanting to draw it for a long time, and I finally did, and it kind of got slept on. So maybe people will come back and find it later, but if anyone has suggestions of who to draw that's in line with my style, I'll throw them in the comments. I'll consider them. Can't guarantee I'll do all of them, because I tend to gravitate towards stuff that I'm into, so I don't get too bored. But yeah, these are some more Walt Whitman. This is like his oldest photo that anyone has. This is one not terribly long before that. There's probably a 10-year difference between the two references. And then this is one of the younger ones that's honestly probably 20 years between these two. And then just some Bob Ross from today. I realized I probably never showed this, but this is actually the shipping receipt from Paper Republic when they sent me this A5, because this portfolio that I'm drawing in right now is one that they actually gave me, just for being part of their program. But yeah, this is like the Paper Republic shipping info, and I tend to hang on to scratch paper, but this is one of my favorite photos of Bronc Rider, just getting right before he gets tossed on his head. And there is like a crowd and everything in the background of the reference photo, but I decided not to draw that. And then on the back side, this one's kind of just cobbled together from a few different references, all scribble method. And I forgot this was in here until the other day. Someone asked what this paper was. And that's, I've drawn this one a lot of times. It's one of my favorite bowls. That's Arctic Assassin. It's the one that broke J.B. Mooney's neck. Now he owns him. He's got him like a pet dog. But yeah, it's just kind of stuck in the back here. Maybe I'll do something or make more of a series out of those at some point. And then I've yet to really use it, but I've got this book. It's recycled paper. It's a book that I keep staring at it work, and I feel like I want to try and use it. It's a company based in Milan, but it's a little thinner. It's kind of close to the Paper Republic thin papers that I've been drawing in, like what's in the gray cover here. I don't typically use these books, but this one came with this setup, and I just like the look of this book from Milan. So anyway, that's what I got going on the A5 right now. And then I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I do have a new drawing set up a little bit. I added like a green leather desk mat, so there's a little contrast, so it's not cognac on cognac, so it stands out a little bit more. So that's what I've been carrying every day, aside from my pocket journal, which this one, move this over here. This is the one I've had for about 3.5 years, and I had to redo my planner in it, and got a few things going, but I've got some pencil drawings, one of my wife there. Here's another little self-portrait, same reference. This photo just ended up turning out well, so it's been easy to draw. Little Harry Dean Stanton. This one ended up being much higher contrast. That's all drawn with this pen, which is the Kaweco Special Edition brass ballpoint, and I've got a stylo needlepoint ballpoint in there from like an Oto pen. So it's a little heavier, and I had to get used to drawing with that length and weight compared to some of my other pens. That's another favorite. Not super similar, but they both are brass. That's kind of what I've been carrying most. I appreciate that. Yeah, this one, I don't know. I've drawn him a lot. This one was kind of like a sketchy 10 different sessions type thing. Another Walt Whitman. It's kind of a running theme right now. I mainly do this a lot because I like that photo, and it's easy to really messily do hair and a beard like that. So if you get like a couple of the portions right, it ends up being pretty good. Let's see, you said, is the ballpoint diameter finer on the longer pen? Yeah. So this one, it's hard to tell. Probably see it better if I hold them up next to each other. The camera will try to refocus if I hold them too close. So the Tino is more of like a, I'd say just shy of a 0.7. It is listed as a 0.7. And then the one in the longer pen, this one is, I'd say it's like closer to a 0.5 because of the style of it. The main reason for that is because you can't really draw with the side of it. With the Tino, you can sketch on the side, which is how I do a lot of my cross-hatching and things like that. Line thickness on this one is a little bit thinner, so it's a little bit more articulate in terms of things like this drawing. But to be honest, it's just kind of, there's one I kind of abandoned. It's just a different feel. It's the refill that I prefer. It's also what's in my Paper Republic Stylo pen. But yeah, just kind of different strokes. I write with this one a lot just because I got it towards the end of the year last year. So I've been kind of journaling with it, but it's longer and heavier, so it's back weighted unless you hold it farther back. So for drawing, I think I prefer the Tino, but I kind of go back and forth. I mean, I like them all. And then I also have the Paper Republic Stylo, which is basically an aluminum version of this Kaweco Special Edition ballpoint. And in this pen, this aluminum Stylo, that's the same refill as what's in here. So the main difference, aside from it it's got a soft click, whereas this one has like a really great tactile click. This one and the Tino both have a soft click. Let's see, you can't quite hear what I'm calling the longer, thinner one. but it is sold in the, yeah, it is. This is a Kaweco special edition ballpoint. So it's a German pen. We do sell these. I know that at the Valencia store we've been out for a while. Kaweco. It's Kaweco. Kaweco. No, Kaweco. Kaweco. Let's see. Like that. If you ask a German person or anyone from Europe, they say Kaweco, the double V instead of the W. But yeah, at the Valencia store, I think we're out of them. I'm sure we'll probably get a re-up on them. I know that we have a few at the Union store. But yeah, this one, as far as like a longer body pen, as far as that goes, I like this one a lot. I do like the Paper Republic one, which is only sold directly from Paper Republic. But it's so similar to my brass one, and it's a lighter weight. So it's kind of just like whichever one I grab. I've been journaling a lot with these two longer body pens and drawing a lot with really all three of them. Like these are kind of all my daily carries at the moment in terms of stuff that I write and draw with. But let's see, going back to this. Yeah, so it was on the Walt Whitman there. Another one of those same chimp reference I've drawn quite a few times. And this one I kind of dabble on. I've drawn this a lot of times. So I've done it with color Bic pens and all kinds of stuff. And there's another Western one that I've been sort of chipping away at slowly. Honestly, I forget that I have it in there, and then I'll, like on a break time or slow moments at work, I mess around with that one. Yeah, so this is kind of my daily setup for this one book. And then otherwise, pencil drawings that I've kind of on the fence on whether some of these are finished. Some of them I like to just leave as they are. There's something about drawings that are a little bit less involved that I'm starting to enjoy. So A4 here, let's see. This one has a lot of random stuff in it, so I'm kind of flipping to the ones that are relevant to what I've been doing lately. Yeah, so here's Jack Nicholson. That one I was honestly kind of did it on a lark. I wasn't really planning on drawing that one, and then I just jumped into it. And that one turned out really well. It's kind of the range that I'm going for. Then there's Elvis. This is based on a really soft reference photo, so I'm tempted to just sort of do a couple touch-ups and then call it done. And then here's the De Niro taxi driver. Technically, there's a couple more things I'm going to do on it, so I'm not going to call it finished, but I'll probably finish this one tomorrow. So what would make most sense is just to wrap up this one on the Elvis drawing. And let's see, I'll go back through the other ones from this series. Yeah, so this is one of my favorites. This is Tom Hardy. It's based on a Greg Williams photo, so it's like a Q2 photo, I think. It's Joaquin Phoenix. Josh Brolin, which this is a Brian Bowen Smith photo. It's a guy that I message with every once in a while. Pretty cool photographer. Johnny Depp from the Minamata set, also a Greg Williams photo. It's Brad Pitt as Cliff Booth. Really without the Hawaiian shirt and everything, it's just the scar that tells you in the hair. So Christian Bale. It's John Bernthal. Owen Wilson. Lewis, Willie Nelson, I've drawn him a handful of times, Jimi Hendrix. I was talking about Hendrix yesterday. I was talking to my wife about being into his music and being like obsessed with him when I was younger. I can play a lot of Hendrix still, which is sort of funny. Haven't really thought about it in a long time, but I have pretty good recall for it. This is young Tom Petty. It's like early days. And the dude, which ended up being like, he looks a little more serious than I think the dude ever was. But yeah, got some odd pebbling on these. Got a couple more blank sheets in this book. This one technically has some ink drawings on the backside, so I may not use it for that purpose. I always try to fill every page in these things. I also have like some old ones before I'd really scaled up, some Robin Williams, which I've drawn a few times. Really kind of shows the progress as well. This is all the Lord of the Rings characters, plus Bilbo and one of my daughter that ended up in there. So not all of them, but most of the hobbits, Aragorn. And it's funny to look back at these, see sort of the progress on them. I was drawing birds for a while, got really bored on those. A lot of them I started drawing sort of at somebody else's suggestion, never really continued. So here's the first 4 Doctor Who actors. Big Doctor Who fan, or Whovian, as people have started calling it, which I hate. These are all done with a Parker Jotter. Eventually I'll go back and kind of redo those. Let's see, that's actually a friend's dad. I need to finish that one, send it to her. This one was going to be like a giant gatefold of like a pond at one of my friend's farms, but to be honest, it wasn't really my style, so I sort of did it for the sake of a video. Here's the big chimp that I've drawn a couple times. There's a whole video of this where you can hear the pen the whole time because I have a microphone attached to the pen that I do that one with. That's another fun one. Here's a panda. Fun story on that one. I actually did a couple of my first live streams on this and the chimp. Before I'd really figured out this whole process, I actually fell asleep a few times while I was doing this because I was so bored and trying to be really focused. I hadn't really figured out how to listen to anything or watch anything in the background without being too distracted. There's some in here I didn't ever finish. There's Arctic Assassin again, which ended up being really dark. There's a lion. This one I didn't dip down far enough on its jowls here. Typically lions have a really deep outer jowl, so it looks a little off. This is just like bored doodling and like some scratch paper. So there's another blank one I need to clean up a little bit, but another one that I'll be able to use for a larger portrait. These were some Dylan LeBlanc ones. We were trying to live stream together, and he's an old friend, a great musician. But every time we try to sync up, he'd be MIA, so I kind of gave up on the idea. Then back to Jack Nicholson, Elvis. Here's a little Bic multi-pen thing. I live streamed and time-lapsed that one if you want to see the whole thing. I ended up having like too many bags under my eyes, and that ink is pretty unforgiving. But I think my eyes turned out all right. There's some redeeming qualities. I could go back and fix that one up a bit, but maybe I'll do that when every single page is full. There's another one of Dylan LeBlanc. That's I started doing this when I thought we were going to go live, and then I realized he wasn't responding, and so I kind of left it to be finished for later. So maybe we'll hop back into that idea at some point. Yeah. And then I think there's like some random stuff in here. This is sort of like a above my head type perspective drawing thing that I started inking, but honestly, I got really bored with that. It's typically what happens if it's not something I'm super interested in, or I don't know, here's a lot of scratch drawings. This is kind of what like the back page of all of my journals look like. So it's like different little things like Koi Tower, lots of little circles. So these things, this is like how I warm up drawing. Like I always, it's something I don't usually show because it drives people crazy and it's really boring, but basically starting with like a little circle here, like a really messy circle. So the light's coming from there, so a little reflective area. And then just slowly rounding it out so it starts to look a little bit more like a sphere. But this is kind of what's in the back page of all of my stuff. Every few back pages are just a bunch of little scratch drawings. Especially drawing with ink, I like to do this as well because you get globbed up ink on the tip of the pen. It's nice to be able to flip back to the back page and kind of clean it off by doing these. Or if you're losing like ink flow, you can kind of come do like some scribbles. Yeah, but with this stuff, especially for filming, you get a reflective layer on it, so it's hard to actually see it in detail. But that's what all this is. It's just kind of testing pens and different refills. Just for like a little contrast, like the difference of that and a Tino. I have to push really hard with this pen because it's a lightweight aluminum. Not much weight behind it, whereas this one, it's more about the articulation of the pen rather than any pressure that's being applied since it's raw brass. With these, I like to be pretty messy. Sort of get all that out of my system, just like warming up your pitching arm or throwing arm. You know, any kind of thing like that, like get all the wild hairs out. Yeah, and that's kind of, I don't know, if you look around at all the sample books at Top Drawers, you'll see some of these. It's stuff that I'll do real quick. And yeah, that's about it for this book. Some Ansel Adams stamps. If anyone ever orders commissions, that's usually what they come with. Anyway, so that's all my current setups right now. This one pretty much just lives right here on my desk. This one is with me every day, whether it's in my pocket or a bag. If I have my bag on me, then this A5 is with me. But for the sake of bookending this video, if you are looking for my social media, like Tom suggested earlier, it is all linked in my bio and linked in the description of every video. It's also the same name as what's on my YouTube. It's just basically that spelling in my name. But yeah, it's all kind of mirror image stuff. Anything I draw in here gets time-lapsed and put over there as well. And then if you like any of this Paper Republic stuff, any of these leather journals, there's a link for bundles that are 30% off. That's also in my description of this video, every other video, and my bio. And same for my Blackwing pencils, which I haven't used today because I did ink drawings, but those you get, I think, 10 or 15% off. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll see what I'll be drawing. I don't know, it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I'll probably tie up some of those pencil drawings and then go from there. All right, appreciate you watching. See you tomorrow.